As we get underway, it'll be interesting to see how the early play goes, whether it's kind of a feeling out process like you have high caliber teams, opponents occasionally have, or if they go straight to the attack. The ball is placed. We're going to reset, and I think everyone is just itching with anticipation here. We just want to get this going. You got to get that ball placed properly. Obviously, you want to do the face-off fair, or the draw fairly. I almost did it.
Oh, you did. Way to catch it. Way to catch it.
I literally just drove over here from calling a Major Series Lacrosse, box lacrosse playoff game. So the face-off name word may slip out occasionally, but I am working on calling them draws.
It's okay. I'll correct you.
Okay.
We got this.
Thank you. Here we go. Casey Choma jockeying for position in the U.S. defense, defensive midfield. The fans are getting a little restless. They want play to start. Ball is ripped out, and the U.S. will take first possession. It was Choma who had it, but she can't hold it for long, and it's snagged there by Brooklyn Walker-Welch, and Canada will go to the attack first. She's going to sprint into the offensive zone and immediately move it. Here comes Eve Ritzuk, who has been on fire in the tournament. Walker-Welch will throw it back up top. Nice job by the U.S. to recover. Take away any fast break opportunity.
Look at them taking their time on attack, making smart decisions, not rushing this.
You can't force against a team that's as athletic defensively as the U.S. is. Here comes back up to the top. This will be Nicole Perroni from nearby Whitby, Ontario. Ball is stripped, pops out, but it's going to go straight back. Oh, it almost went to Shawnee Wallace, but instead it pops free and it is grabbed. Bit of a collision there. It looked like Isabel Smith would get it, and she will be awarded possession.
Yeah. Check to the face.
Yeah. A little over the line. Here comes a break. Running down the field is Michaela McMahon. She's going all the way to the cage and scores. What a start. She's deposited on her hip, but she gets up and will celebrate. U.S. won, nothing.
What a beautiful goal. You know, she never slowed down. She never waited. She just went in. She drove hard, and Canada just wasn't ready. Didn't look like they're ready for that slide.
A little surprising that the Canadian defense wasn't prepared, but the speed with which McMahon was coming, I think, may have thrown them off a bit, because she took off from, her own side of center, never even broke stride. Obviously saw something she liked, because she was going to the net all the way. Jenner and Sabourin back out for another draw. And what a start for the U.S., who have been lights out so far in the tournament. And these teams having played the same opponents, both having played Australia, both having played England. The U.S. with a greater goal differential and certainly so far would have to look like they're the sharper team.
Maddie Jenner taking the draw for U.S., the tallest player on Team USA at 6'2". Man, I'd like to be 6'2".
I was 6'2" in grade 9.
Unassisted. Time of the goal, 13 minutes, 56 seconds.
Really making sure that that ball is placed properly. Jenner, pretty quick draw there. The ball pops free. It almost picked up and eventually is collected. Annabelle Child.
Great box out.
Child looking back to her own end, but now she's going to sprint ahead into the offensive zone. Got Kylie Dobson there with her. She's going to go to Dobson now, and Canada will go back to the attack. We've seen how quickly the U.S. can strike on the counterattack. Let's see what Canada can generate. Shawnee Wallace takes that ball up at the top. Quick movement across to Child. Ball is on the ground. Bianca Chevry goes after it. The ball's going to go out of bounds.
Awesome check.
Wow.
Look at the check from the restraining. Fantastic job.
Great closing. Emma Sheddig will start with it. Immediately moves it ahead. And Canada already looking more prepared for the rush. After last time being caught off guard, you can see they are determined not to let that happen again. Ball goes down deep to Megan Carney. She has been lighting it up as well. Ball behind the net now with Caitlin Wurzberger. Back to Carney. Fighting her way through. Flag is coming. First of the game.
Looks like another check. Check in front of the face.
She's got a great open lane on the restart. Opts to go up top. I guess it wasn't quite as open as I thought. Looked like Mackenzie Beam was close enough that she could have been a distraction. What a save. Wide open look in front, but a nice stop there by Cassidy Eckert. Eckert will corral the ball in her crease and immediately moves it out. No hesitation to get the ball up front. Here comes Annabelle Child, covering some ground. Protects it nicely, and we'll just hand it off. A slip, the ball pops out, nicely picked up and back pass to the goaltender. Rachel Hall moves it immediately. It's another difference we'll see in this game, I think, between some of the other games. Is you see a lot of very patient, very almost tentative clears. The goalies here aren't hesitating.
Well, see, in the international game, we don't have a possession clock. There's no rush right now, and so they can take their time.
Back at X, pass out. About hip high, corralled there by Izzy Skane. U.S. just making some substitutions, so they're going to wait until they've got everyone they want out there. And that is an offside. Is that offside?
We have an offsides call. You know, USA was subbing on the fly. It looks like they have an offsides call. So too many players over that restraining line.
And it's just the player coming in late just seemed a bit unaware of how far she'd run.
You know what? That's communication right there.
Nice movement ahead. Canada into the attacking zone again. Kylie Dobson avoids one check, being tracked down there. Isabel Smith all over her, and Smith still on the trail check, but a nice little roll pass out to Eve Ritzuk.
These checks are unbelievable. You have to protect your stick.
Yeah, you can't leave it dangling out there because the ball will be gone. We've already seen a couple of strips. Ritzuk trying to break down one-on-one. They are isolating for her. You can see Isabel Smith is in the background just waiting to see if her help is needed.
You know, this is a very patient and lethal game right now. Everyone kind of taking their time. It's the first quarter. Again, international rules is that we play 4 15-minute quarters in this game. So there is ample game to be played.
Pass across to Shawnlee Wallace, who gets it on the run. Quick attack. Nice little shot, tucking it underneath the tender. Kylie Dobson. Canada patient, then they attack.
I absolutely love that shot, right? That crease roll. It's a goalie's worst nightmare, and shooting against the goalie's momentum, really pulling her to her right side, the goalie's right side, and shooting to that left. I mean, that's an unbelievable example of how to take a crease roll.
Well, and just a beautiful play. And the key, I think, was Dobson caught the ball in flight as she's moving. You could see the defender going after it. I think may have been going to try and pick that pass off. And, boy, Dobson realized immediately that she had that lane available. Great finish. Sorry, it was Wallace that made the pass, of course, over to Dobson. Charlotte Smith stepping in for this draw for Canada in the place of Jordan Sabrin, who's started out for Canada, taking them. Madeline Jenner is there once again for the U.S. And Canada gets possession. And what a roar that led to for the fans.
USA was
into this.
Early in the circle. They're trying to ice the kicker, per se, on that circle line by running in, and she was early.
Nice little spin move by Charlotte Smith to set it up. And here comes a drive down the middle. Oh, what a check. Oh, we do have a call. I thought that Isabel Smith was going to be okay on that one, but play is blown down, and here comes a chance for Kennedy Lynch.
And this is an ideal hash angle.
Oh, what a trail check, though.
Getting a piece of that, too.
Was that Casey Choma getting her stick on it? Oh, what a play. Just enough to throw the shot off target. There's another strip. What a check. And just waiting for it to roll out of bounds. Very patient play by Brooklyn Newman. Such a heads-up play in such a big game to not try and pick that ball up as it's about to go out of bounds and knock it out yourself.
These checks from Team USA.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
And the officiating internationally is very strict. They will, anything that's anywhere over the line, they're going to call you for it. And the U.S. has just been so impeccable with the checks. It's very impressive.
Yeah, what I say about referees or umpires is that they're not always right, but they are never wrong.
I like that. Izzy Skane looking to the near side. Pass right onto the crease.
That was definitely a shooting space call, and that was a picture-perfect shooting space call.
Here's a great opportunity for Michaela McMahon, who scored the opening goal. 3 steps. Oh, rips a little high. U.S. will get it back. They did have Caitlin Wurzberger back there backing up. What an opportunity. Choma spinning. Oh, sorry, Smith spinning, makes the pass. Oh, a step and a shot off the post. What a glorious opportunity for Choma. And great hustle. Cassidy Eckert comes out to get it. And again, the immediate clearing pass.
I love that Canada defense that we just saw. You know, everyone sliding and communicating. USA posting a player right there in the 8, but Canada not even hesitating to talk and slide. I mean, that was picture-perfect defense right there.
Wide open Jordan Dean takes the outlet pass, and she will sprint over center field. There's the open player, Kennedy Lynch. Over to the far side. Canada's going to settle it down. You can see both teams probing anytime they're moving up the field, ready to go to the net if there's an opportunity. If there's not, they'll pull it out, set up, and go into the patient offense.
You have to look at how spread out they are, right?
Mm-hmm. Ainsley Thurston. It's going to create an opportunity here. Not going to be much of a lane for her, but she's got 3 players to her left, just waiting for the pass. She's going to opt right there for Lynch. Lynch is knocked down. We'll get the ball back.
You know, 8 meters are all about options, right? What are my options? Do I have the best angle? Do I have options with other players? How do we get that ball in the back of the net?
Dobson, the Canadian scorer, tosses it up top. Finds Sabourin. Lynch hands it off. Thurston probing. Nice strip again by the U.S. Boy, this defense has just been unbelievable. And coming away with the ball is Isabel Smith. And Smith is just all over the field. She's doing things at both ends. Shanley Wallace putting some pressure on, but Alexandra Murphy clears no problem. McMahon. Izzy Skane's going to wait. The U.S. substituting again. You know they're going to be very careful this time after the offside earlier. Just under 3 minutes to go in a first quarter that is flying by 1-1. U.S. and Canada all tied up. I'm Stephen Stamp with Amanda Mastera. This is the World Lacrosse U19, a women's world championship. U.S. looking to get a chance. Oh, it just gets loose, and Eckert will pounce on that loose ball in the crease.
You know, it should be noted that both of these goalies are unbelievable. They come out of net, they play like field players. It's what every coach wants, right? Get involved, help with the transition, be
Bring
a
the
threat.
added dimension. Nice little lob pass ahead. Jordan Dean runs onto it. Started to duck inside. Didn't like the lane she had, so she'll hand it off. Let Shanley Wallace try to generate. Brooklyn Walker Welch finds Wallace, slips through the double team, split the D, but lost the ball, but she will get a chance. Wallace drops the head of the stick, tries to go low to high, and just misses.
Yeah, the sidearm didn't work on that one.
You see that could be a factor. The U.S. defense has been so effective with the stick checks. She looked like she may have been just trying to avoid getting a stick on it. Kind of threw off of her shot. Walker Welch brings it to the near side. Nicole Peroni passes it through. It gets away. It's going to roll out the back. Is possession being awarded to Canada? No. Okay. Yeah, it looked for a moment like the official was indicating the ball to Canada. I think she was pointing the wrong direction.
Not entirely certain what the call is.
I was going to ask you. I'm not sure. They're just sending her off. Must have been an equipment issue.
Yeah, I was going to say, given that she came off, I wonder, if there's a mouth guard missing.
Yeah, I mean, she was sent off. The officials sent her away, put the ball down, and in comes Casey Choma to start, and will immediately flip it over to goaltender Rachel Hall.
If that was an equipment issue, that would be a change of possession, so I have a feeling it's something else.
Oh, that's a good point. We may have to research that, find out. So with 36 seconds to go here in the first quarter, the U.S. trying to get into an attacking position.
30 seconds remaining in the
Canada coming out with some pretty broad defense to try and eliminate any chances to get in and penetrate. Still 22 to play. Megan Carney makes her way in, passes through. Oh, what a finish. Izzy Skane. Surgical pass and then a beautiful finish by Skane.
She drove and then she drove again and she didn't stop. We have a tendency to drive. We see a defender there, but you know what? If you can switch hands, if you can duke her out, if you can do a dodge, then you got to go for it.
Well, especially when you're down into the final 20 seconds of the quarter. You don't know when you're going to get another opportunity. So big finish to put the U.S. up.
Whoever scores at the end of this quarter, they have the momentum, and that's huge for teams. That's huge.
I said before the game that I was pretty sure we'd see more than 12 goals given the offensive talent, but the defenders have put us right on that 12-goal pace. It's 2-1, 3 goals with 18.4 seconds left in the first quarter. Contested draw, and it will be scooped up once again by Casey Choma. Quick movement. The U.S. wants another goal here. They've got 8 seconds to do it. Dropping to her knees. Madeline Jenner hangs on to the ball. A chance, backhand whip shot. What an attempt and a huge battle for the ball. Jenner tries once again, but the clock has run out. I don't think the players heard it with the excitement from the fans.
No, that you can feed off the fans' excitement when you hear USA being called and you're driving to net.
What a first quarter. It is 2-1 for the U.S. over Canada. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the second quarter, Canada versus the U.S. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the World Lacrosse Women's U19 2019 World Lacrosse Championship. The U.S. with a 2-1 lead and possession coming off the opening draw of the second quarter. I'm Stephen Stamp with Amanda Mastera. What a start for the U.S., and the defense has really been what's driving it for them.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to see these two goalies play, these checks across the board. I mean, it's a beautiful game right now.
There's really been, I mean, the second and third goals, the first Canadian goal and the second U.S. goal were lovely plays. It was really just the first U.S. goal that we saw a bit of a defensive breakdown. Other than that, it's been impeccable. And there you see two Canadian defenders repelling Leah Holmes. That ball is on the ground. It's going to head out of play. It's off of Canada, so the U.S. will regain possession. Sophia DeCenzo. Twilight coming to Justin Chu Stadium here at Trent University. Great pass inside, nice finish. That was DeCenzo who started the play and finished it.
That was a beautiful draw and dump. So she drove hard to goal, really wanted to draw that double team. She did exactly what she wanted to do, and then popped that little lob pass to her teammate, and she was right there on the doorstep of the goal. That was a beautiful goal.
Yeah, and that's where, I mean, you talked earlier about Canada, the slide, the aggressive defense going after them, and in this case, the U.S. using, to an extent, using that against them. You see the defender coming hard, and you can see the look was all along to try and make that little lever pass inside.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge sometimes. You're like, do I slide early? Do I wait? And in a game like this, because of how fast USA is, you really have to time that slide.
Yeah, people talk about the speed of the game, the athleticism, and how important that is, but the thinking process has to be fast too, and that's the big challenge when those things are happening so quickly. You've got to be able to respond, and I'm not even sure I'd call that a breakdown defensively. That was just a lovely play. 3-1, the U.S. up, and once again with possession, setting up in the offensive zone.
Sophia DeCenzo, assisted by number 18, Leah Holmes.
Nice defensive work there by Skylar MacArthur. Oh, a great chance out front, just a little bit wide from the stick of Isabel Smith. The U.S. will start with it once again.
And she ripped that shot. That had velocity.
Oh, a great pass inside. Smith is going to the turf. Attempted a trail check, just knocked her down. And it's a fairly clear violation that's going to set her up.
And she was really looking to set a pick, but now she's got an 8-meter.
Yeah. Starting right in front of, you're going to have a great view coming right out of your living room. Passes down low. What a finish. Beautiful pass. And hammering it home was Caitlin Wurzberger.
We talk about 8 meters a lot. You'd be amazed how many women end up missing the goal on 8 meters because they overthink it. And in that was perfect lacrosse IQ. Hey, I don't have a great shot. I'm going to drive. I'm going to pop a pass off to my teammate who's at X, and I'm going to let her get it in the back of the net. I mean, that's just lacrosse smarts.
Well, especially the awareness to it's so easy to get laser focused on that scoring chance from the 8-meter because it seems so obvious, but just to make that pass on the run and accurately, very important. 4-1, the U.S. taking control of this game 4 minutes into the second quarter. Source, obviously lots of time to go. We'll see what kind of response the Canadians can have here in their home country. Nice job on the ground ball by Brianne Gross.
I'd really like to see Canada answer back right now.
So important not to let the U.S. get too far ahead. We mentioned that most people expecting this to be a preview of the gold medal game. If these two do wind up meeting again, if you're Canada, you definitely don't want to have let the U.S. run away from you. Back out to Smith. Nice pass in the middle. Oh, what a shot again. That's not what Canada wanted, but Casey Choma is thrilling the U.S. fans here.
And the pace at which they pass, I mean, it's 1 second. You know, we talk about this a lot as coaches, right? Move the ball like we're on repeat. But really, they have it for 1 second, and they are passing it immediately. Catch, pass, shot.
Yeah, U.S. coach Kelly Monty-Hiller must be pretty excited, pretty happy with what's going on for her team. Scott Teeter, who coaches Canada. You can see him pacing the sidelines, looking for answers, and he's just called a timeout. I was wondering if he was going to do that, and he has. With 10:10 to go here in the second quarter, I'm Stephen Stamp with Amanda Mastera, and it's quite a game for the U.S. so far.
Yeah, you know it is. Kelly, the head coach, Kelly Amonte Hiller, you know, she's not won a gold yet with this team, and we talk about Scott from Canada. He has, right? And USA has a chip on their shoulder if you've ever seen one, and I think they've come out here. We talk about this a lot. They had 500 applicants to try out for Team USA. They cut that down. They invited 100 back, and from there they made their roster. And so it's a pretty unbelievable crew that we have here on Team USA. Team Canada, the same. They have unbelievable high-caliber players on their team, a lot of which who have played box lacrosse, and I love that. I think the box game really makes you much more aggressive. I think, you know, defensively, they're better defenders and goalies, like sort of across the board. I think this is going to be helpful for them.
Offensively as well, just learning and feeling comfortable with passing and catching in traffic is huge. Especially, you mentioned, you know, the field a little bit smaller in this international event, and that demands that you be prepared to do things with people on top of you. Madeline Jenner already out there waiting to take this draw to get play back underway. It's 5-1 for the U.S.
Yeah, Maddie really dominating on the circle, and we've seen that thus far in the championship game, so I'd love to see how Canada really adjusts to something like that.
We'll have a chance to see here as Charlotte Smith ready to face off with Maddie Jenner, in the sense of that she's facing her, and the ball will be put into play.
It's all about the draw. You dominate the draw, you dominate the game.
Smith rips that one back, and we're going to redraw. Boy, Canada actually loved the way that ball came out. The official did not, so we'll set it up again.
And as you can see, we have the players on the circle that are standing about 3 or 4 feet outside, and they run in. You know, they're using speed to their advantage. They're also using it to box out. Like I said before, it's sort of like icing the kicker. We have another redraw. It's got...
Nope, Canada's going to get possession. Oh, sure, the U.S. gets possession.
I think Canada started early on that.
You're talking about the players on the edge of the circle coming, and I think one of the Canadian players just got her foot on the line a little bit ahead. U.S. setting up Izzy Skane. Gonna have a substitution for the U.S., so they're just going to slow things down. Nice feed down low. Immediate slide by the Canadian defense. Jordan Dean getting there to take away the chance. But here comes one. Oh, and that's a finish for Sophie DeCenzo, her second in the game. And again, just perfect passing by the U.S.
You know, she faked opposite pipe, and then she went on the opposite side. That was incredible ball movement. I'm not sure if you guys saw that behind net, there was a pick set, and it was perfect, a perfect opportunity.
Just catching the Canadian defense with a little gap, and that's all it takes. Again, we talked about the speed of the foot speed of the players, very important, but it's the passing speed, the quickness and precision that their hands are generating opportunities with. 6-1. And there's some nervous cheering now from the Canadian crowd, fans in front of us.
The tone has changed.
It has. You can hear they're just a little, I think they're a little bit in shock. You know, Canada, the defending champions, and I don't think any of the fans below us are thinking too much about how good this U.S. team is. They're just thinking, this is Canada, we're in Canada, we're the defending champs. And they're not enjoying this 6-1 score, or the fact that the U.S. has the ball once again. Here comes Brianne Gross. She'll hand it off and go for a change. Izzy Skane.
Both these teams can pass so efficiently under pressure. In the midfield, they're playing incredible defense, yet both Team USA and Canada are still making those catches. I mean, that says a lot about stick skills, confidence, and aggressiveness.
8-meter chance for the U.S. Some jockeying for position down low. Oh, that is not a deflected shot, but it looked like the stick was hit as she was shooting. I think that actually threw off Cassidy Eckert.
Absolutely. I mean, it happens. It's unlucky, but Canada did get a piece of that. And so Canada goalie stepped in the opposite direction and missed that shot. That is unlucky, and it does happen.
It does. Leah Holmes gets a bit of a helping hand on that drive, 7-1. And the USA chant starts down to our left. That doesn't make you guys very popular around the world. Not sure if you knew that. Maddie Jenner will try to get the ball back for the U.S. once again. 6.5 to go in this second quarter. USA up by 6. It's tapped ahead by Choma. Nice work to move it out, and here comes Gross on the run. Smith breaking down.
Look
Great
at that
job.
defense.
Yeah.
Canada
Just
shutting
closing.
them down.
So quick coming across. Absolutely no chance. So Eckert grabs the ball, and that may be about the longest we've seen one of these goalies hold the ball. It was about 3 seconds.
And that defense on a 1v1, her body positioning, perfect.
All about the footwork to get the body in that spot, right?
USA really pressuring out high.
It's stripping, but I believe that's going to be a check violation.
Yeah, we have a check to the head, and that's a card, so
Wow.
she is out.
Okay, so for all our viewers who aren't all that familiar with the details, what's the implication there?
So she got checked in the head.
Yeah.
We can't do that, obviously.
Obviously.
So she's out for 2 minutes.
So Isabel Smith, who has been so critical for the U.S., has gone to the bench. Canada will try to take advantage of this opportunity. They're being quite patient. Kylie Dobson hands it off. Ritzuk across the top. Right on the crease. Oh, great save. My goodness. Rachel Hall, unbelievable, and comes up with the ground ball. Hall will take the pass back. What a huge save by Hall.
That was unbelievable. Both knees dropped, making it right there on the doorstep, and then making another save directly after. I'm telling you, both of these goalies are some of the best players I've seen yet.
Some great communication by the U.S. as they had just a wall of players running forward, and they were very clear on who was going up, who's going to stop, make sure they don't go offside. Now they're just going to try and kill as much time as they can until Isabel Smith can return. And Canada being pretty patient, not really pressing out. That Skylar MacArthur is the closest to the ball. And I do have to get in. I coached Skylar MacArthur in kids soccer. She played with my daughter out in Ennismore nearby. She would have been about 10, I believe, at the time. So
That's awesome.
yeah, pretty cool to see her representing the country in lacrosse here.
USA taking their sweet time.
And Canada not pressuring at all. Canada apparently just content. It surprises me a bit when you're down by 6, 4 minutes left in the half. I would think you'd want to put a little bit more on, but now they're going to back away even further. You can actually see Mackenzie Beam just communicating to everyone, just back off. Skylar MacArthur is inching back out. Wurzberger's just going to hang on.
Yeah, there's no rush. I mean, if you're up by 6 goals, no need to rush it. Again, there's no possession clock in the international game right now, so they can take as much time as they'd like.
Think that might change next week when there's some meetings and discussions?
It might.
It might.
It might.
Again, great one-on-one defense, but then the pass in front and the finish. What a feed. And Michaela McMahon, who started the scoring, makes it 8-1 for the U.S. Under 3 minutes to play in the first half. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera.
USA really dominating right now.
They really are. And I mean, just such precise passing.
You know, we have 2 minutes, 33 seconds left in this quarter. There's going to be a halftime. I'm curious with, you know, what Coach Teeter is going to be telling his team at half.
I mean, it's hard. They did take a timeout earlier, but it's hard during the course of a half to really implement a lot in the way of changes. So see what Canada can do. And great check. Nice strip there by Annabelle Child. Canada's going to come back and try and get one the other way. Child switching back and forth and loses the ball, though. She was all on her own against 3 swarming blue jerseys, and the U.S. goes the other way. Choma sees the pressure coming.
It's Canada finally got that draw, and then, you're triple teamed and you have no options.
Yeah, nobody presenting as a viable passing alternative.
I have a feeling USA might run out this clock.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. No need for them to press things. Choma, they will keep moving. Man, heads it down low. I don't know. They're starting to drive towards the cage, and we've got some cutters coming. That pass a little high, though, for Smith. She's going to be backed up. A nice little tap pass. Great job by Murphy. The U.S. still certainly inclining towards the net. And here's a chance. Smith rips it and scores. They're not going to run out anything. They're just going to bury it and make it 9-1.
Yeah, she catches that on the run, rips it, using the momentum from the pass even. That was a hard shot. I do have to say, I know that Canada defense is struggling right now, but you can hear them talking from all the way over here, and we are far. They are communicating. They are relentless, and I'd really love to see them crawl back.
It'd be interesting. Certainly the crowd down in front of us that is comprised mostly of Canadians. Would certainly love to see that as well. We are on top of the Gary Dalladay media booth here at Justin Chu Stadium. I just have to say, it's very exciting for me as a Peterborough native. And I mean, I started working at the building just to our right, the athletic complex, when I was 12 years old. And it's pretty exciting to see this event back here 12 years after it was last held, and the difference, the growth in world lacrosse and the growth in the way this is taking off is pretty exciting. That ball's still being battled for, and Canada comes away with a good thing because the ball had gone well down into their end.
They have to be aware of the clock. We got 10 seconds.
I think they're trying to use that U.S. defense, and then the pass is thrown away, but it is backed up. Great chance, Shanley Wallace on the run, but then the ball pops away from her, and almost a little nervousness from the Canadian side. Maybe they were too aware of the time. 1.4 seconds, Wallace will pass it off, and that's a bit too long to try and make something happen, so we will go to halftime. The score, USA 9, Canada 1. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Anything you want to say before we go to break?
No, I think this is an unbelievable game thus far. I do have to say, USA really controlling the draw.
Yeah.
You control the draw, you control the game, and that's really coming to fruition right now. So I would say, if I were Coach Teeter, and I'm not because he's much more talented than I am, we'd really have to change up that draw. Whatever you have to do to get Maddie to mess up, you got to do it if you're Canada.
You feel like you need to have possession to feel comfortable that you can go and attack and try and cut into this 8-goal lead. We are going to take a break. We'll be back in just over 9 minutes. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera. This is the World Lacrosse Women's U19 World Championship. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the World Championship of U19 Women's Lacrosse. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera. It is 9-1 for the U.S. And I just want to mention a couple of the Canadian players, Olivia Toll, number 2, and Kylie Dobson, number 12, both from the Oshawa area, about an hour away from here, just under an hour. Both, when the tournament was held here in 2007, 12 years ago, they were ball girls. For the tournament, they were out. There's a great story about them, being here, and a picture of them 12 years ago at the tournament, enjoying themselves, and now obviously enjoying being a part of this. Probably not enjoying being down to 9-1, but Amanda, you've got quite a bit more information to share.
Yeah, I love the ball girls here, by the way. I interviewed them earlier today, and I asked what they're doing to train for this, and the first thing they said was, we're playing a lot of tag. And I love that, right? I especially love multidimensional athletes, right? We talk a lot about, physically how they display themselves on the field, but we really don't talk much about the heart behind the jersey. And, I love Brooklyn Walker Welch. She, when she was 4 years old, decided she really wanted to play lacrosse, and there wasn't a girls' team, and she had no options. So her grandfather really stepped up to the plate. She convinced him to be her coach. So she started playing box lacrosse when she was 4, all the way through, and then she finally picked up a women's stick in 2017. And so I love just her story about being relentless. Look, this is a sport I want to learn. It's the fastest game on 2 feet, and I'm going to need my grandpa's help in the process.
Brooklyn Walker Welch from Curtis, Ontario. Again, just down the road, very close to Oshawa. A lot of that Durham region represented here for Team Canada.
And of course, we can't, go without talking about Caitlin Wurzberger, number 1 ranked player in her class by Inside Lacrosse. She was a U.S. Lacrosse All-American in 2017, 16, 18, and 19. She had a career 406 goals, 429 career assists, with a national record of 835 points. I mean, she is lethal on attack.
And where's she now? Do you know where she's playing now? Okay, sorry.
She's committed to UNC, so she is from Delray Beach.
She will become from Florida,
she will. Yeah, eventually you'll see her as a Tar Heel.
There you go. Sorry to put you on the spot there. So 9-1, the U.S. leading Canada. We will see if the Canadians can make some inroads into this. Maddie Jenner has been dominant on the draws. Jordan Sabrin, who took the opening draws, back out there. It was Brooklyn Walker Welch going after the ball, and U.S. will get possession, though.
Looked like that was an accidental empty stick check.
Yep, Brianne Gross quickly whips it ahead. Isabel Smith. Smith, probably the most dominant player in this game so far. I mean, she has been doing it up and down the field, and the U.S. going to take their time here, setting up in the attacking zone. And they don't take too much time, though. Boy, just when you think the U.S. is slowing it down, they'll see Casey Choma cut to the middle, and just like that, they're attacking. There's another pass down low. Oh, picked off by Eckert. Great job by Cassidy Eckert to jump out. Oh, but it's going to be for naught. Here's a chance for Wurzberger. Oh, what a rip. We talked earlier about looking for the pass, not always just looking for the shot, but boy, she had her lane and just didn't hesitate.
Yeah, the future Tar Heel ripping another one.
So double digits for the U.S. They go up 10-1, a minute and a half into the third quarter.
It was interesting. I was listening to Coach Monty Hiller before the game and her players. And at one point, one of the players said, we just don't have any weaknesses. And I'm like, it takes a very confident team, a very confident player to be able to get away with something like that. But at 10-1, I think she, really meant that.
It was interesting, about 3 minutes left in the halftime break. You saw the U.S. players came out, they're playing catch, they're whipping it back and forth, just getting ready to go. Team Canada stayed in their tent talking with the coaches amongst themselves almost until there was time to come out and play. Like they were really clearly focusing on what can we do, how can we change the tide. It hasn't happened early here in the third quarter. We're going to have a redraw.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Canada, who had it.
Unassisted, time of the goal, 13 minutes, 47 seconds.
Jenner and Smith. Yeah, it looked like Charlotte Smith went a bit early. And yeah, it will be awarded to Maddie Jenner and the U.S. possession once again. You can get a little antsy when you're not getting the ball off the draws and sometimes a bit of a jump. Here comes Maddie Jenner running the field. We'll pull it out and the U.S. will set things up. Don't anticipate them taking too long to set up. They love to attack. Oh, that pass a little bit low, gets away. Tracked down nicely by Sophie DiCenso. But a great strip. What a pickup. Kennedy Lynch on the run. Long pass rolling along the turf. Shawnlee Wallace one-on-one. She's got a player with her. Oh, big save. Boy, Eve Rutzuk.
That was a great save.
Oh. One-on-one, naked on the crease, and Rutzuk just can't find the spot. And the U.S. immediately up into the other zone. And that's got to be so frustrating. You finally generate a chance, and you know Rachel Hall just slams the door on you. Izzy Skane settling things down. U.S. substituting. Now the U.S. starts to go again. There's a pass in the middle. Nice job stripping it away. Eckert pounces on the ground ball.
Taking her time, looking for a clean option right here because she knows USA defense. They're great at redefending.
Skylar MacArthur bobbled it momentarily, corrals it nicely, gets it back to Eckert. Lots of pressure from the U.S. on this ride. The double team opens up a player, and there's a nice pass ahead. Mackenzie Beam takes it and has to run away from traffic. Boy, nothing is coming easily for Canada in this game. The U.S. is just making even what looks like it could be a fairly simple clear a real challenge.
Yeah, they're going to have to work at it.
Kennedy Lynch. Lynch listed from Baltimore, Maryland, so a bit of a cross-border rivalry for her. There's a cut underneath. Lane opens. Oh, what a move behind the back.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful behind the back shot. I know kids are losing it at home watching this right now. That was a gorgeous, gorgeous behind the back shot. Looking like she was going to pass the ball, faking out the goalie behind the back. That was a beautiful goal for Canada.
What a play. And I mean, the behind the back shot almost overshadows the play just to get there. The dodge was gorgeous just to get through traffic, fight her way to the net, and then Eve Rutzuk, hard behind the back, just whips it in.
I love how relentless she is.
Yeah.
You know, she had 3 players on her and she didn't give up, and she looked like she was going to pass. She really faked out that goalie in defense, and a behind the back finish like that.
What a subtle fake for the pass, though, right? I mean, there's no big theatrics. It was just the little angle. I thought the same thing. She's going to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Eve Rutzuk? Yes. The goal, and what a goal for Eve Rutzuk. We got to get that into SportsCenter.
Entirely.
It's got top 10 written all over it.
I love Eve. You know, she learned to ski at 3 years old and has been a competitive slope-style snowboarder ever since. Talk about multi-sport athlete.
Well, she's from Sherwood Park, Alberta, and that is some pretty fine winter country. Sherwood Park, I believe, just outside of Edmonton. Such a nice blend of athletes from all across these two countries coming together. And you mentioned so many players in the application process. And it has resulted in some awfully good teams here. So far, the U.S. getting the better of this one. 10-2 they lead. We're almost 7 minutes into the third quarter. Oh, what a play. Such a delicate finish under pressure.
Yeah, that's a hard one for Cassidy. You know, she's made some tremendous saves, But when you're on top of the crease like that, it takes one swift move in one direction to the other. I love Cassidy's story too. I mean, she comes from a lineage of lacrosse goalies. Her dad was part of Team Canada back in the day as a goalie, and her cousin is also a box goalie. And she said, her dad is her mentor and her favorite lacrosse player in the world, and she's here right now playing for him.
Such a difficult decision for her on that one. With the little lob pass coming to Isabel Smith, you have to be thinking as a goalie, do I have time to get out and really challenge it, or is she going to get the ball before I can do anything? And it looked like Eckert got it caught a little in between. Great finish, though, by Smith to know exactly what she had to do. But, yeah, great story of the lineage of Cassidy Eckert. And these players, it's so exciting. I mean, a senior world championship, it's great. The players are excited. They're thrilled to be part of it. But with the U19, you generally only have one chance. You've got to be a pretty special 15-year-old to be playing and get to come back. So,
yeah, these players have been looking forward to this game. They know each other. They know each other from both the high school and college scenes. They're very competitive.
Oh, that pass doesn't quite connect. The U.S. again attacking the middle, finding a little hole, but the pass doesn't connect, and Eckert is all over the ground ball. Quick outlet for the clear. Oh, but the pass gets away. Tremendous effort. Wurzberger, you talked about her scoring prowess, but that is a great ground ball. The tenacity in that ride, really remarkable.
We really hope that attackers redefend, right? Their job is not done. It's not just for scoring, it's redefending. You should be lethal across the field.
Oh, great tuck play. And the shot, but a nice save. That was Izzy Skane getting inside. Eckert not thrown off at all by that last Isabel Smith goal. She's made a couple of sharp plays since.
And number 11 from Canada, Jordan Dean, making some phenomenal defensive takeaways. She is the youngest player on the team. She's 16, and she grew up playing hockey and lacrosse. We have a lot of these multidimensional athletes, and I do believe it makes them better lacrosse players.
That's kind of what people do in Canada. It's the hockey in the winter, lacrosse in the summer. And I know coaches look for that. It's funny because I think there is the pressure on kids to specialize, to focus so much on their sport. And, I love the emphasis you're putting on how important it is to do different things. For one thing, it develops different muscle mass, different skill sets, different ways of attacking a sport that is only going to help you when you do wind up focusing on the one sport. And I like that. I like, you get some skiers, you get some snowboarders, you get the hockey obviously translates. Canada trying to generate something. The pass in a little bit high for Wallace. It's going to be kept in.
Unbelievable
and spun
hustle.
Back. Great play. And then splitting the defense, coming up with the ball again, but falling. Oh, great effort. But Kylie Dobson couldn't quite hang on. Here comes the U.S. on the run. Brooklyn Newman up into the offensive zone.
I think Canada has figured out you can't run with the ball. You got to move it in the air.
Oh, great kick save by Eckert. Another one with the stick. Back-to-back saves on great scoring chances. All kinds of pressure on the redefend.
Oh,
Eckert
got someone on her back.
Rolls it into the crease to relieve the pressure. Just over 4 minutes to go in the third. This quarter flying by. Canada definitely more in the flow of play. We were talking about in the halftime how Canada barely possessed the ball in the second quarter. The U.S. was really dominating. Certainly a much more evenly played third quarter, which isn't going to help you come back from the 11-2 deficit necessarily, but
yeah,
certainly has to increase your confidence if you meet again.
Everyone likes a comeback.
Yeah. This would be a dandy if Canada could come back and get this one. Nice little slip move there by Bianca Chevry. And she's taken down, and we'll get possession back.
We talk about this a lot. You shouldn't just be an attacker or just a midfielder or just a defender. You play every position, and I think Team USA right now is demonstrating that to a T. We see tons of redefending, midfield defense on point, swarming the ball, double teams, all of that from everyone from end line to end line.
it's fascinating watching the U.S. defense here as they adjust constantly, constant communication, constant adjustment, so that Canada can't just get an easy chance to go inside, even as Canada's moving around the perimeter. The U.S. the U.S. defense almost amoeba-like, the way that they're one unit who are all ebbing and flowing. There's a chance for Wallace. Canada starts to get some cutters through the middle now. Drive down. We have a foul. This is going to be a chance for Canada to set something up, get it rolling.
We got an 8-meter opportunity right now. This is huge.
Annabelle Child will start with the ball. She's crouched low, getting ready. Plays blown in. The shot in the goal. Nice spot just past the right foot of Rachel Hall. What a finish. Beautiful play, Annabelle Child.
Yeah, if Canada ever needed a goal, it's right now.
Yeah. The Oakville, Ontario native takes it herself, gets Canada back within 8. It's 11-3. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. I'm Stephen Stamp with Amanda Mastera. Thank you so much, lacrosse friends, for being with us at the World Lacrosse U19 Women's World Championship. Jordan Sabrin will try to get the ball back for Canada. What a tower of strength, though, Maddie Jenner has been for the U.S.
Yeah, certainly. She is so good at the self-draw, bringing her stick in, protecting it immediately. As you can see, she kind of is like a Fogo, for lack of better terms. She gets the ball to her teammates most of the time, and then she subs in the box.
One well up in the air, still bouncing free, though. Controlled by DeCenso. And just as you say that, Maddie Jenner is going to stay out on the field and attack. She is slipping into the slot, looking for the ball. Now she's going to head off. She was very interested in a moment of glory there. The U.S. slows things down to the final 44 seconds of this quarter. Substitute coming in. It's about as methodical as we've seen the U.S. become, but do not think they're going to just sit back and wait. They now start to attack. All kinds of traffic in the front of the net as they go to X. And through. Pass up top. Skane. Stripped. Great job by MacArthur. Oh, not quite a great job. It's going to be called on the foul. Sorry, Charlotte Smith on that check.
30 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Coming to the final seconds of this third quarter. And Skane's going to back away and then try the pass through. It is knocked down. Nice job. Great active stick by Nicole Peroni.
Canada does not want them. Oh, and they got it.
3.5 seconds to go. That ball bounces through the legs of Cassidy Eckert. That's fairly crushing for the Canadians to give up that late goal in the quarter again, as they did earlier in the game. 12-3. We should have been a bit more liberal with the bug spray. If you hear any slapping or swatting, that's just us trying to protect ourselves up here. 3.5 seconds. This draw should be mostly a formality. That's a long way to try and get down to the goal in that amount of time, but we'll see what happens. Pops out. U.S. gets it. We're going to try to attack. No, time has run out. And we will go to the third quarter intermission. 12-3, the U.S. leads. I'm Stephen Stamp with Amanda Mastera. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Lacrosse friends. It is 12-3 for the U.S. over Canada. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera, and we've had a change.
Yeah, we have Paige Pagano now in goal for Canada, so we have a goalie substitution going into the fourth quarter.
Paige Pagano, the Toronto, Ontario native. And Canada will get possession to start this fourth. It's a big hole to dig out of the 12-3 deficit. They're going to see what they can do to chip away at the U.S. lead. And the U.S. not backing off at all. Look at the pressure immediately coming out of this fourth quarter to start. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera. Thanks for being with us. It's a lovely night here at Justin Chu Stadium. Walker Welch switches hands and hands it off. Great defensive communication by the U.S. All kinds of pressure wherever Canada goes.
Yeah, Canada trying to move the ball quickly now.
Here's a chance, a bouncer, but again, Rachel Hall with the save. Oh, sorry, actually, that is, do we have a U.S. goalie change as well? I believe we do. Looks like Madison Doucette coming in from Westchester, Pennsylvania to play the final 15 minutes for the U.S. If you're looking on the roster, she's listed as 99, wearing number 9 out on the field. The U.S. probing in the offensive zone. There's the cut. Great pass to Isabel Smith. Nice save. Pagano. Boy, that's quite a shot to start with as the first one.
You know, you're in
face.
goal for 2 minutes and you make a great stop like that. I think the fourth quarter is looking pretty good.
Skylar MacArthur on the run. Sorry, Charlotte Smith. Shanley Wallace just waiting as Canada makes some substitutions. 2 more players switching out.
Really high pressure defense right now from USA, out on ball and really shutting down their adjacent passes.
Knock the ball loose. We're going to have a foul, though, called on it. But, I mean, so many times you'll see teams patiently wait for their opponents to make their changes. The U.S. was having none of it. Canada does get a chance. Oh, what a save. Doucette faces just as high quality a shot as Pagano did and comes up with the exact same type of save. Here's Isabel Smith on the run. Great trail check here by Kennedy Lynch, hustling back. Smith will adjust her goggles and get set for the restart. Make sure go ahead.
Really interested to see how Canada's defense responds to this. We don't have much time, right? Defensively, you're thinking, I have 12 minutes. Do we high pressure and risk being caught out really high out and they backdoor cut, or do we kind of hang out by the 8? And so they look a little hesitant right now, and I'd love to see them put a little more pressure on Team USA.
I mean, you're down by 9 goals. If you give up a couple, it gets hard to come back. It's already hard to come back. You can't let the U.S. just let the clock tick away. Make sure you check out the World Lacrosse website. Go to the schedule. It's got all the games being played live on Lac Sportsnet. So thanks for being with us. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera. You can go back and watch all the games on demand, see how this tournament is unfolding.
We have midday highlights, too, if you can't catch the action live, and then end-of-day highlights for all your up-to-date scores. So you have to check it out, Lac Sports Network.
Yeah, you've been doing yeoman's work here, or yeoman's work, either way, on the daily coverage of the tournament.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. You know, we have 22 countries here in a global platform like this. It's just a blast. You start to get to know other cultures and the game, you know, how it's being played in Kenya or how it's being played in Jamaica. I mean, it's unbelievable to see the way that this sport has really, really grown.
U.S. putting some pressure on again. They go back behind then now. Canadian defense really getting after them now. The drive out. Oh, what a move, but off the crossbar. Just bounced out of the stick. I think a little overeager to get the shot off, and it's going to be Canadian possession. You know, that Kenyan team is such a great story. They came over, and the their shoes, things like their shoes. They'd ordered and they came in the wrong sizes in European instead of American or vice versa sizing. So some of the local hosts, Ashley Aitken and Rosemary Powers, took them to National Sports and they all got shoes. And donors each put in about $500 to get them all shoes so they could come out and play. And, Kenya getting their first win, so appreciative of everything everyone's done for them. And their spirit is just energizing this entire tournament.
Yeah, I love their story. And Jamaica, too. I mean, they do an unbelievable dance. They're going to teach me some of their moves tomorrow.
Nice.
And honestly, I can't wait. I'm stretching right now. I mean, it's been a wonderful experience for all of them, and including me.
When can we expect to see that on camera, you dancing?
I will keep you posted.
Okay. I'm going to hold you to that. I want to see these moves. The Kenyan team, I know, did a dance. They came to a major series game last week that I was calling down in Coburg, and the same, they did their a song and dance out at center floor beforehand. Here's a chance on the restart. Kennedy Lynch on the 8-meter.
Oh,
what a beauty.
Awesome goal right there. I mean, Canada, we need it, right? Or they need it, excuse me.
Are you feeling Canadian?
A little bit.
Okay.
No, I've been here for 4 days.
We have that effect on people.
They really needed this goal, right? We think about 4:12. I mean, we have 9 minutes left. It's not a lot of time if you think about crawling back and really tying up this game, but man, they needed that goal. And you know what they need after this is every single draw.
Yeah. And I mean, the other factor, down 12-4, 9 minutes to go, chances of winning this game for Canada are fairly remote. It would be a miraculous comeback. It would be pretty exciting. But even if you're not going to win this game, everyone, again, expecting a very highly likelihood of the U.S. and Canada meeting in the gold medal game, and you don't want to just tuck your tail between your legs and go home in this game. You want to come back. We have seen stranger things with big deficits. The one World Men's Field Lacrosse Championship years ago, right, where the U.S. beat Canada in the round robin by 14 goals, and then Canada came back and won the gold medal game. So you want to build something and prepare for an eventual potential rematch. Canada trying to get this draw. It's just eluding Jordan Sabarin.
Oh, they got it.
Yeah, they will be awarded possession. She's going to look around and see her options. Backpedals to open space.
There's a lot of energy and pressure for this game. It is hard if you're under 19 years old to handle that, right?
Right.
Mentally, you have to prepare. And there is a high probability these two teams will see each other again.
Mm-hmm. Canada on the attack. Couple of substitutions trying to work through, get everyone some time in the pressure cooker of this U.S.-Canada game. That's Shawnlee Wallace. She has been out there the whole time. Reagan Wilson dodging low, tries to split back up top, gets there. Sorry, that was Kylie Dobson coming out. What an effort by Dobson.
Risky move, hanging her stick. You got to be really careful with the one-handed when you have 3 Team USA players on you.
It is leading to an opportunity here on the 8-meter, though. Oh, great defensive race in by Michaela McMahon.
Smart move by Canada. I mean, that is lacrosse IQ and decision-making. She decided not to force it, roll back out, get it to safety.
Boy, it's tough, though, when you're down by 8 with 7 minutes to go. Do not force that. Oh, nice drive to the net. Oh, a goal! Beautiful finish, Reagan Wilson. I thought Doucette had it, but it just eludes her, and Reagan Wilson gets Canada's 5th goal.
I love that goal, right? She drives. She pretends like she doesn't have it, like she's going to pull it back out and work the ball around, and she actually drives again. And more often than not, that second drive is a better opportunity, and you catch that defense. They turn their back for a hot second, and that's your opportunity to get it in the back of the net, and she just did that perfectly.
Yeah, the momentary hesitation to just get them to relax just a bit, and then you go. It's almost like you're building up some potential energy or building up ready to go, and then you just release it, and off she goes like a spring, firing her forward, and drives it in. 12-5. Canada pulls within 7. 5:50 to go here. I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera. Thanks for being with us. The draw heads over way to the far side. DeCenzo is the first one there. She comes up with it, passes it back. Nice quick passing again. Oh, and there's a strip, though. Great effort by Wilson. No, just a little over aggressive.
Super frustrating if you're a Canadian player right now, doing all that work.
You mentioned a lot of the women with the with some box background, and in a situation like that, you just want to run somebody over. U.S. will take their time here. DeCenzo comes across to Skane. Skane taking her time. We'll go to Elle Hansen. We haven't seen a lot of Hansen, the Cohasset, Massachusetts native.
Really taking their time.
Yeah, under 5 minutes to go in the U.S. Happy to see that clock just keep ticking. The pass down low doesn't connect. Immediate pressure defensively from Olivia Toll. Couldn't quite come up with it. Great job to force it loose, but the U.S. great stick skills.
Canada really putting on the pressure, man. They are getting physical out there.
How about that work by Bianca Chevery from Brantford, Ontario? It's going to wind up in a U.S. possession and a restart.
Yeah, a little bit of a bump there.
That's the challenge, is to be aggressive, but not too aggressive. There's a pass down low. Good defensive response, so Kearney has to run away from the pressure. 4 minutes left. Great run to the middle. Oh, nice save. Paige Pagano just getting a touch of that ball as Megan Kearney tried to bury it.
You know, Coach Kelly Amonte-Hiller was talking about how a couple of these players that are out here right now on the field were initially cut from the training team, that they were on the younger side. They had finished up their senior year in high school. Then they were asked to come back after they finished their freshman year in college, and that's because the college game, it's more aggressive, it's more fast-paced.
Great finish inside. The ball comes to Würzberger. She shows how she scored over 400 goals in her high school career. That almost seems like it has to be a typo.
It's not. It's true. Yeah. And given the high velocity at which she shoots, I believe it.
And not a big windup. I mean, she just has the ball and it is coming out quickly. But like you said, she gets a lot onto it immediately.
Yeah, 4-time All-American.
That's pretty good when you have 4 years to try and do that. Coming down to the final 2:45. 13-5 now, the U.S. ahead. High ball flinging out off the draw. Gets down, scooped up nicely by Brianne Gross. She's in from El Dorado Hills, California.
You know, USA really dominating on these 50-50 ground balls every time boxing out. You know, they're just a little bit faster. We talk about this a lot. This game is, you know, a game of inches. If you just push yourself a little bit harder, can we get that ground ball? Can we box out? Can we get it to safety? And USA really demonstrating that in the midfield.
And not really letting up with a 13-5 lead here. They've been ahead since very early in the game, and there's no back off. I mean, 8-goal lead, fine, you know, you don't necessarily need to score a whole lot more, but it's a world championship. You're here, you don't have a lot of time together, and the U.S. clearly putting everything into every moment of these games.
You know, they're a little bitter, a little resentful.
Yeah.
They didn't win the gold. You know, I wasn't joking when I said they have a chip on their shoulder. They're out here to do business.
They take a chance to the middle. Isabel Smith can't come up with it. Ball bouncing around. Jordan Deed comes up with it off the ground. Lob pass ahead. Perfect pass to lead Charlotte Smith. Oh, it just eludes her, though. Nice pickup. And Nicole Peroni will change direction.
Canada really playing frantically right now.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking at the scoreboard and thinking, I got a minute left. A real frantic play going on.
It's hard not to lose a bit of focus, but you got to keep playing sound lacrosse. Canada's going to try and generate another scoring chance here.
And these are, in fact, the preliminary rounds. So they will see more teams after this.
There's going to be a chance for Canada. 45 seconds. We're into the final minute. The clock is stopped. Oh, great save. Madison Doucette absolutely robbing. It was Nicole Peroni with that 8-meter. Canada gets it back though. Great pressure. Still 30 seconds. Very patient play.
That was a great save. Right across the face, opposite side high.
.9 seconds to play for Canada to try to get something else on the board. Pass to the middle. Glorious chance, another save. Doucette is on fire here in the fourth quarter. Canada gets it back. Drive to the net, a falling chance. Bianca Chevry trying to propel the ball towards goal. 18.2 seconds to go.
Another shot opportunity. If only they had more time.
Great drive to the net. Isabel Smith with the defense and Doucette with the save. They're actually going to call Smith on the check. One more chance. Well, maybe, who knows? 14.9. We're having to stop about every 3 seconds here.
You know, they took the same shot they just took.
That shot goes wide. Great defense to get onto Chevry and just force the ball wide. Canada clearly wants to get another goal here. Have the last goal of the game. The old pickup game or house league game saying, last goal wins. I know it doesn't actually, isn't actually true here, but Canada would love to get the last goal. Walker Welch goes high to get that ball, bounces away from her. They've got 3 seconds. She's gonna have to get a shot off, passes it through. The clock will run out on Canada. The U.S. will win this preliminary round match 13-5. And it's a pretty excited crowd of American fans down to our left.
They are. A lot of the Canadian fans have already left already. But, you know, I said this before. This is, in fact, part of the preliminary round as far as seeding goes in their pool. So these teams will continue on in their quest for a World Championship medal. USA really dominating on this game, though, 13-5. It was, in fact, closer in the beginning in that first quarter and second quarter. I'd be interested to see how Canada really bounces back from this.
It is a big challenge because, you know, you put so much thought into this game, so much preparation. But like you said, they've got to keep going. They've got to keep playing and prepare for their ensuing preliminary round games and on into the medal rounds. Anything else you want to add, Amanda?
You know, as coaches, we always want our players to focus on the next game, right? Mm-hmm. The one that's coming up. We have a tendency to think about that big game or the World Championship or the state championship. But, you know, I think for Coach Teeter, he's really going to instruct his team to focus on the next competition and put the work in there so that eventually, if they end up meeting again, it could potentially be in their favor.
Every step of the process.
Every step.
I'm Steven Stamp with Amanda Mastera. Thank you so much, lacrosse friends, for being with us at the 2019 World Lacrosse Women's U19 World Championship. Watch the rest of the tournament on LAC Sportsnet. Thank you so much. Have a great night.